All right. Workbook Lesson 30 of A Course in Miracles. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. This is following yesterday's lesson 29, which is God is in everything I see. So now it's God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. Paragraph 1. The idea for today is the springboard for vision. From this idea will the world open up before you, and you will look upon it and see in it what you have never seen before. Nor will what you saw before be even faintly visible to you. 2. Today we are trying to use a new kind of, quote, projection, unquote. We are not attempting to get rid of what we do not like by seeing it outside. Instead, we are trying to see in the world what is in our minds and what we want to recognize is there. Thus, we are trying to join with what we see rather than keeping it apart from us. That is the fundamental difference between vision and the way you see. Paragraph 3. Today's ideas should be applied as often as possible throughout the day. Whenever you have a moment or so, repeat it to yourself slowly, looking about you and trying to realize that the idea applies to everything you do see now, or could see now if it were within the range of your sight. Paragraph 4. Real vision is not limited to concepts such as, quote, near, unquote, and, quote, far, unquote. To help you begin to get used to this idea, try to think of things beyond your present range as well as those you can actually see as you apply today's idea. Paragraph 5. Real vision is not only unlimited by space and distance, but it does not depend on the body's eyes at all. The mind is its only source. To aid in helping you to become more accustomed to this idea as well, devote several practice periods to applying today's idea with your eyes closed, using whatever subjects come to mind and looking within rather than without. Today's idea applies equally to both. All right, so finally, God is in the workbook lessons. This is following yesterday's lesson. God is in everything I see. Now we have God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. Remember that yesterday brought in the idea that everything I see outside of myself shares God's purpose. And that's a way of saying that everything seen through with true vision, or you could say through the eyes of the Holy Spirit, everything shares the same wholeness and perfection. And it's all perfect. Today I'm going to be reading the psychotherapy supplement. You can tune into that video if you'd like. In that supplement, Jesus actually refers to Genesis, the book of Genesis, where it says, and God saw what he had created and it was good. But Jesus corrects that in the supplement. He says, no, it's perfect. It's not just good, it's perfect. So everything, sharing the same purpose, everything is perfect because God is perfect. And because God is perfect, everything must also, everything comes from God, ultimately. And everything must share that perfection. And if we don't see that outside of ourselves, that's what the Course is coming to help us to see. So God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. Let's read paragraph 1. The idea for today is the springboard for vision. That means real vision. That means like the vision of the Holy Spirit, the vision of God, the vision of Christ. From this idea will the world open up before you, and you will look upon it and see in it what you have never seen before, nor will what you saw before be even faintly visible to you. It's kind of like, I saw this picture yesterday of the stairs. You might have seen this optical illusion. Every 10 seconds, you look at this picture and the direction of the stairs changes every 10 seconds. Your eyes cannot see if you're seeing one way of the stairs going, one direction of the stairs, you can't see the other direction, right? It's either one or the other. Or other optical illusions that you've probably seen like that, like where the two faces, it's either a glass or you see two faces, right? You can't see both at the same time. You're going to either see one or the other. So if you see with God's vision or Christ's vision, you will not be able to see otherwise. And if you're seeing with, you could say, the eyes of the ego, you can't see other than that. It's either one or the other. You can't see both. Paragraph 2. Today we are trying to use a new kind of, quote, projection, unquote. We're not attempting to get rid of what we do not like by seeing it outside. That's how we normally operate. That's what we normally do, is we project the blame and the problem outside of ourselves. But now we're using projection in a different way. Instead, we're trying to see in the world what is in our minds, and what we want to recognize is there. So, if God is in my mind, I'm projecting God out into the world. I'm projecting the meaning and the purpose of God out into the world. Thus, we are trying to join with what we see rather than keeping it apart from us. So we're trying to see with the eyes of wholeness and non-separation versus the eyes of separation. That is the fundamental difference between vision and the way you see. So the way we see right now, generally, is we see separation. We see separation between ourselves and all others. We see problems. We see imperfection. We see pain and suffering. We see a lot of reason for despair when we look outside of ourselves. And this is a way to help us to see it differently. Paragraph 3, today's idea should be applied as often as possible throughout the day. Whenever you have a moment or so, repeat it to yourself slowly. So now this is different, because now Jesus is not saying, I'm going to give you 6 practice periods. This is saying, no, do this throughout the day, whenever you think of it. Whenever you have a moment or so, repeat it to yourself slowly, looking about you and trying to realize that the idea applies to everything you do see now, or could see now if it were within the range of your sight. So you do it with eyes open. And then paragraph 4, real vision is not limited to concepts such as near and far. To help you begin to get used to this idea, try to think of things beyond your present range, as well as those you can actually see as you apply today's idea. So you're doing it to all objects, that ones that are within your the range of your vision, and things outside of the range of your vision. And you can even do it with eyes closed. So real vision, paragraph 5, real vision is not only unlimited by space and distance, but it does not depend on the body's eyes at all. The mind is its only source. To aid in helping you to become more accustomed to this idea as well, devote several practice periods to applying today's idea with your eyes closed, using whatever subjects come to mind, and looking within rather than without. Today's idea applies equally to both. So you're going to do this with eyes open. You're going to do it with eyes closed. Because ultimately everything is in our mind. It's not even about what's outside of yourself. And ultimately, this is all an inside job. This is all about changing your mind. Changing your mind, and ultimately forgiving yourself. And that's really the ultimate change that we're coming to, and we're realizing our self is perfect. There is absolutely nothing wrong with my true self. It's only when I judge myself that I have accepted limitation, and it's basically my false self judging my false self. But when I open to the possibility that the self as I'm experiencing it right now is not ultimately my true self. It's a reflection. When we get more into our right minds, it's a reflection of our true self in this world, but it's not our true self. Our true self is not of this world. Our true self is beyond this world, but we can experience something akin to that in this world. We can, the Course set uses the term of reflection or echoes. We can have the echo of reality. It's not necessarily reality itself, but we can get close. And you might want to listen to my video on the psychotherapy supplement. It's going to talk about all this today. Hope this was helpful to you. And let's see, tomorrow's lesson 31. Where are we going next? I am not the victim of the world I see. It's another important lesson. All right, so we'll see ya on the other side, and thank you for listening. Bye-bye.